The family of a murder victim is making a tearful plea to Oregon's governor not to grant a woman who pleaded guilty in that case clemency. Dale Ross was shot and killed back in December of 2005. Our Jennifer Dowling spoke with his daughters as well as a victims' rights advocate to give us more perspective on this case. Jennifer?
Good evening, Elizabeth. Well, this clemency request comes at a time when there is very strong debate about how the governor has been handling clemency cases. And in this particular instance, the family of the murder victim is very concerned about this request.
You don't have my dad anymore.
In 2005, 54-year-old Dale Crittenden Ross III was brutally murdered in his own home. His daughters still recall the awful details of that crime.
They walked in and they stripped my dad naked. They tied his hands behind his back. They made sure they had his debit cards and various cards with his PIN number. And then they shot him in the head.
I was the one that found my dad, how they left him.
Investigators eventually found Gerard Smith and Lindley Rayburn with Dale's car and arrested them. Court documents showed that the two did not know Dale, but randomly spotted him outside his home just before the attack.
I had my wedding without my dad. I have 3 kids without my dad there to be, their grandfather. So it's like all these things that we live with every day that we got taken away from us.
Lindley Rayburn did not pull the trigger, but received a life sentence for her role. The family says she's now requesting clemency, something they feel should be denied.
The reality is that in the state of Oregon, the criminals have become the victims, and the victims have become nothing more than collateral damage.
The president of Crime Victims of Oregon believes there's a, quote, rampage of clemencies going on for offenders that should remain behind bars.
It's usually for people who have been found to be innocent, or it's people who have really turned their lives around.
For its part, the governor's office did issue a statement saying our office has received a clemency application from Lindley Rayburn, and that application is currently under review. To be clear, the governor has not yet made a decision on this case. Sarah and Kendra ultimately hope the governor listens to the victims.
I would love for her to reach out to me. To reach out to us.
Every time this happens, it's like a scab that just gets torn off, like every couple of years, that we all have to relive the whole story again.
Tough words to hear, and the governor's office had much more to say about the Rayburn request. We'll post that statement in this story at coin.com. Meantime, while there's no decision in that particular case, the clemency issue has been a hot topic all week. In fact, Governor Brown is facing a lawsuit over some clemency cases. Now, the lawsuit states that she is failing to follow the state's clemency laws. A clemency order from Governor Brown last week made dozens of criminals convicted as juveniles eligible for probation. 3 have already been released. That has been a very hot topic, so lots to watch on these clemency cases in the coming weeks. Reporting live in Portland, Jennifer Dowling, KOIN 6 News.